Action. All right, welcome to the Sean Boy Finance podcast, the first and probably the last.
Oh,
With us, we have Dylan.
hello. And Linda in the back.
Hey, Linda. Dylan has a channel called, what's your channel called?
It's called Dylan the Tourist.
Dylan the Tourist. He's traveling all 50 states. He just turned 18. He just graduated high school. And so let's start out with that. What inspired you to travel? What inspired you right out of high school? When did this start? When did you first decide you wanted to do this?
Well, I'm 18 now, so I guess it all started really when I was 16 is when I really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I kind of looked at where I was, and I wasn't very athletic, so overweight and kind of stuck in Arizona, the desert. I really like the desert, so I decided like if I wanted to travel and make that what I want to do, then I really had to start working for it. So first, I dropped out of high school to do online schooling, even though I liked going in person. I knew I had to do that first. Then I started going to the gym. I lost about 50 pounds. So
50?
then, yeah.
Wow.
Then I got my first job in an Indian restaurant because it's the only place that would take me. And I didn't.
You lost a third of me.
About like 4 of the cats, yeah. So first, I lost the weight, got my first job in an Indian restaurant, saved up for like 2 years straight,
Wow.
and kind of tried as hard as possible to get as many credits and graduate early. And so as soon as I turned 18, I had enough money, lost enough weight, and already done with school. So I was kind of out of there.
Did you see someone else do something similar where it made you want to do it? Or
Not like personally. There's nobody really in my life that's done stuff
nobody
like that.
on TV or nobody on like a video that you
Oh
saw
yeah,
where
on
you're like, that's
YouTube,
cool.
probably my biggest inspiration, anyone that's ever done anything close to this would probably be Ryan Trahan, his Penny series.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, that was really cool because it kind of shows that it is possible as long as you're really willing to work towards it. So I kind of learned that lesson and believed in that. So I just kind of started working towards what I want to do. So going to all 48 of the continental states. So then we'll see what I do. Right now, we're just focused on getting all of them. We're on 5 so far.
When you first told your parents, what did they think?
Oh, they didn't think I was serious.
They didn't think you were serious. When were they finally like, oh man, this kid really wants to do this?
Well, it seemed like they didn't really believe I was going to do it until the day I was leaving.
The day you were leaving?
Like I was constantly telling them.
All right, that's it. No, wait, what? You're actually doing it?
I think, their biggest reaction was on the day that I was leaving is when my mom and sister were like, oh, he's really leaving. Oh, well, don't go. And so, like, no, I got to go. I've talked about it for 2 years. So they kind of, once they started realizing I was more serious about it, like a year ago, they started trying to talk me out of it and, that sort of stuff. I tried telling them this is what I want to do. I want to see how it goes. So
my parents were like that when I moved out. They're like, the day I was actually leaving and I had all my stuff packed. Yeah. They're like, you're really moving out? I'm like, yeah, I told you. And they're like, well, we're gonna miss you. I'm like 24. I'm like past due to move out. Yeah. Man, so you had to save money.
Yeah.
Like, did you kind of like write anything down? Like, oh, okay, how much it might cost, or did you just like, I'm just gonna pile as much away and then figure it out later?
Well, at first I was thinking, I only need like maybe 5,000 or 6,000. That's it. And then I do all calculate. I'm like, I need a lot more than 5,000 or 6,000.
Yeah.
So my main goal is just saving all the money from work. And as far as everyone that's working there, I got like a general idea of like their finances, and it's like once they get the money, they kind of like go through it. And I was trying really hard not to do that, not to follow that kind of like routine of kind of blowing through the money. So I held on to it. Yeah. Kept putting it into my account and not touching as much as possible. Yeah. And I have enough where I can comfortably get there to each 48 states as long as more stuff doesn't go wrong.
Yeah. So you ended up you're in California and you found some odd jobs along the way.
Yeah.
Is that something that you like from the get-go you plan on doing? Like, I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna find some jobs, or did you kind of like, did desperate times come where you had to?
So I was thinking like maybe more towards the end of the trip I maybe do DoorDash or Eats, but it was state 3 in California.
State 3.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's when the truck broke down. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Oh, no. That was when the truck broke down. And it was a transmission issue, and it costed like around $5,000. Wow. So yeah, as soon as I realized how much it was gonna cost, I was like, well, I could either stay in a motel room and waste the money in a motel room every single night and get nothing back, or I could just go out and see what I could do.
So you're in California. Your transmission blew out.
Yeah.
So that was state number 3.
Oh, state 3. Yeah, Arizona, and Nevada.
Like, man, state number 3. Like,
it's already going wrong.
Is it already going wrong? Did you have any doubts at all, or did you just? Was there never a doubt in your mind like I'll just get it fixed and I'll just keep going? Or was there?
Well, in the moment, I feel like if it were to happen 2 years ago when I first started thinking about the trip, I would have been like, "Oh, it's over. Let's go back to Arizona. I quit. I'm done." But like once I'm 2 years in, and I've already done all the hard work for it. It's like I'm just gonna keep working even harder. To make sure it's done and said with. So I kind of was thinking back to both Ryan Trahan and just thinking about all these other channels that'll just do odd jobs. And I was like, it's definitely possible, and there's no reason for me not to try. And like the first shop I went to, I go up with just a squeegee and Windex. I didn't even have paper towels. I didn't even think about that. You had a
squeegee and a Windex, and you're just kind of going from business to business.
Yeah. So the first one I went to, I was real nervous. I walked in, and like before I went, I was like. Like I just gotta put on a business face, and I walk in. I was like, "Listen, I'm going to each state in America," and they listened, and they were like, "Oh, okay, go do it, and we'll pay you afterwards." So, and it gave me $40 in the first go.
Wow.
And I think if that didn't happen, like if the first place was a no, I would have probably like maybe not even gone fully through with it. But first place was a yes, and then from there, I went to business and business.
After the third business, you just kicked the door open. You're like,
"Hey, listen, you." But yeah, I got a lot of no's after that. But as long as you're able to like look past the no's.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And lightly fib.
Succeeding on the first one was like huge.
It was like it's motivational.
If you would have got rejected on the first one, you'd probably been like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this." Maybe I was like, "Oh, it's impossible." But that's cool. And then you helped a lady install something.
Yeah, so I went to a thrift shop because at the time in California, it was a ton of just homeless population. It was so hot, and it was like I've run around for like I think like maybe 3 or 4 hours at that point doing windows. It's like I just gotta go inside somewhere. So I go inside of a thrift shop.
Yeah.
And the ladies read the sign I have on my backpack saying "Traveling to every state in America."
Yeah.
And sure enough, she stops me and she's asking like, "What are you doing with all that gear on your back?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm washing windows." It's like, "I got a job for you. Come with me." And so
really?
So we go outside. She gives me this like box with like a dash camera in it. And so I set it up. I zip tie it to like the roof and make sure it goes into like not the frame, but like underneath all the padding.
Have you installed one of those before?
Yeah, I did it inside of my truck. So I had a general idea of how to do it.
Yeah.
Then hers is weird. Hers is a convertible, so all the windows they would move whenever they're convertible, and she didn't even realize that. So it's like, we can't put this here.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to figure most of that out, and then rewire it kind of like inside, like kind of push it in between the foam padding, so that she won't trip on it or nothing. And then I showed her what I did, and she's like, "All right, here's $50 in an ice cream cone."
$50 in an ice cream cone. It was a drumstick too. Oh man, that was a good deal right there.
Yeah.
It was probably hot that day too, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So that was an unexpected job for you, and
it was kind of worth it in a way after the fact because the footage. I imagine like a lot of my friends that I have, not all of them.
You got some good footage of those jobs too. Like
that was the thing I was asked if I was going to bring anyone, and I was thinking, like if any of my friends, most of my friends at least, like if they were in a situation where they were like in the middle of this place they've never even heard of before. And they were running out of money, it'd be like they wouldn't be able to go out for 6 to 8 hours a day running around working.
Which is a normal work shift.
Right, 6
to 8 hours?
6 to 8 hours? No, I'll be at the hotel.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that. Like maybe people will see this and be like, the hard work will pay off. That's what I 100% believe is I'll get to each state. So they'll see this and see it as, well, if he can do it, maybe it's worth it if I go out and work 6 to 8 hours every single day towards my own goals.
Are you going to are you just going to pick up odd jobs along the way if you need it, or do you plan on just doing it like I'm going to try to see what I could do in every state now?
Yeah, I was thinking for some of the states that have like less to do, I was thinking I can't leave the state until I make like maybe $300. Like maybe I should set a specific limit how much money I need to make before I leave and incorporate that into the videos. But I think it's important to also show the hard work because if people think, oh, he's doing all this stuff, but he's just being given all that. I can't do that. But if I show I'm doing this because I'm working hard, then people think, oh, I can also work hard and I'll also go after my own stuff. There's actually one big reason why I kind of like fully went through with it. Once I got my job, one of the workers there, she was trying to be an artist was the thing. And so I asked her like, do you maybe have a YouTube channel or anywhere you do your art? And she's like, oh no, I'm not good enough. And I was thinking about that, and it's like, if you're not willing to fail, and you're not if you're not willing to fail in front of people and get their perceptions, hear what they have to say about it, you're not going to succeed if you're too scared to just go out there and fail over and over. Because if she were to, like maybe a year ago when she started art, put up all of her bad stuff, and people will give her intel.
You can't call yourself an artist and say you're not good enough. Like either you're an artist or you're not.
Yeah, and just show me the art, and it's like, it's good art, and it's not even when it was bad, even when you were making bad art, you should have shown it. And
either you're an artist, or you're just someone who likes to
maybe trying to make a business. Anything, start a channel. It's like people won't do it because they think, oh, I'm not good enough to do it.
She probably meant she's afraid that other people will think she's not good enough.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got to be willing to put it out there and be criticized, because you take the criticism and you make yourself better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people I've met that have kind of made me look at things, and I think, oh, I really got to work on myself in a way so I don't follow that path.
Yeah.
Like there's some people that have their YouTube channels and they won't edit their videos. They're too lazy to actually see what people are, all the comments, and take that in. They're kind of stubborn. Like, I need to make this content, and I won't adapt.
And they're just, I think they're just also just truly nervous about what, like maybe their coworkers will find their channel or something, or their friends will like laugh at them or think like they're crazy for doing that.
You know? But if you're willing to go after like what you truly believe in, then it will pay off.
I was going to ask you too about that Ryan Trahan guy. Does he travel like you do and do the side jobs, or does he just?
I don't really follow him as much.
What's our lady's name in the background again? What's her name?
I think it was Linda.
Oh,
we can keep changing it periodically.
Linda, pull up videos of Ryan Trahan.
Linda
doing side jobs.
Jamie, pull up that video.
We can definitely. All right, here, ready? Wait, Linda, pull up Ryan Trahan.
Yeah. Linda, pull up Ryan Trahan.
Here, let's just pretend to look at it.
How many days in a row can I double this dollar? Here are the rules. Rule number 1. Each day starts with a 24-hour countdown.
Oh, yeah, okay, see,
So, okay, sorry. Serious. So, does he travel and do the...
So, I don't follow him as much anymore. Is when I first saw it, it was kind of like it was a message that he was kind of conveying that I saw it, and I thought... So the big series was, he started with just a penny, and using the penny, he was able to get more money, and then he used only that money to travel across America. So I believe it was West Coast to East Coast is what he did.
I think I saw one where he's like selling drinks out of a cooler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah.
So is that stuff that's even harder, and I feel like this is probably just the first step. Is this trip as hard as it will be? I think that if this does like go on YouTube, and I'm able to like monetize it and make money off of it, I can then even do even bigger stuff and inspire more people to do whatever they want.
Yeah, for sure.
Because whether it's start a channel or like maybe start a business or go on a trip of your own, it's like if you see it with enough hard work, it'll pay off, and you'll go work hard. That's how that works.
And you had a YouTube channel before this, and it was called Dylan's Plastic Productions. Tell how many subscribers did you have on that channel?
It was, I think, a little over 2,000.
Yeah, wasn't it like 2,600 or something?
Yeah, it was. It was getting high. Was that hard
to lay that one down though? Like, were you tempted to just kind of let your followers know? I want to say, your last video you made, I read the comments, and those are some of the most inspiring comments. Like, you inspired me to do stop motion too. Like, oh, I'm gonna miss you, bro. Like, people probably don't even know you, and they're like, man, you just changed my life.
Yeah,
like,
I read cool through all of them, and it's like, oh,
I think they're so loyal that
cool.
You could have just probably been like, hey, just to let you guys know, in about a month, my channel's name's gonna change to Dylan the Tourist, and I'm gonna go travel around the country. If you guys want to come along, and I think a lot of them would have been like, let's go, bro, let's go.
I think they would have, and I would have kept the watch hours, the subscribers. The only reason I didn't is because I started that during COVID when I was young enough, where it's like, I just want to do this for fun.
Yeah.
Then I kept doing it for fun and kept doing it just kind of like get a following and show people my creativity. And then I was thinking about it like before the trip. I was like, do I want to keep this one and just rebrand it or start something new? And I kind of looked at it as these are two completely different stages of my life. And I'm like, maybe I want to like, instead of blend them together, show how I've grown from this is what I did and this is what I'm doing.
Imagine how many of those followers that followed you from like the get go, like 3 years ago. Like they're
Yeah.
probably so into what you're doing now. They're like, man, oh, you want to travel? Like I'm gonna watch.
Let's do it. Yeah.
You might get a couple that are like,
Like,
oh, I'm only here for the stop
Yeah, I
motion.
miss what
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, go back to doing stop motion.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
and that's what I love doing forever. And then it's like,
could you see yourself in like a year from now, just throwing out a random stop motion video and surprising people?
That's what I was thinking of doing. Is once the trip's done, I'd get home and I'd be like, I might as well just throw one out there for everyone. Let them know I'm still into not stop motion in general. I'm into like the broader just filmmaking. I'm into filmmaking and kind of putting my own sort of creativity into making content is what I'm into. So kind of traveling America, there's gonna be tons of stuff to record and edit and do all that. So I'm kind of excited for a new chapter of editing.
When you're in California for way longer than you wanted to be, and that was one of your longer videos. How long did it take to edit that video?
It was like 5 or 6 hours.
That's it? I thought it was going to be longer. I thought you were going to say like 10 or so. I was going to ask you too. Let's say the blown transmission never happened.
Yeah.
And is this trip still like way more expensive than you thought it would be? You're like, man, I'm actually
other than
I didn't know I was going to have to spend this much.
Other than the transmission, it's like what I expected.
Oh, it's like
it's about what I expected. Yeah. So because the most expensive was gas.
Yeah.
And California was going to be the most expensive by far because I'm going south to north, so it's super long distance.
Yeah.
And then it's the gas there costs so much that it was going to be the most expensive anyway.
Yeah.
Other than that, like if I'm just going off of maybe $3 a gallon, then gas is still the most expensive, but you can buy a gallon of water from Walmart for $1. Yeah. You can buy food from Walmart for really cheap or Winco or whatever store you want to. So food's decently cheap, water's cheap. The gasoline's going to cost the most, and you don't have to stay at hotels, motels. You can stay at truck stops or churches, casinos, Cracker Barrels, and Bass Pro Shop. They all let you.
Oh, you have it down.
Yeah, nice. They let you park inside their parking lot.
Yeah.
So you get to sleep for completely free with a vehicle. So it's free.
You could run outside the back dumpster at the Cracker Barrel. They probably got some good, some good fresh stuff.
So for just daily expenses.
Yeah.
I would say it'd be like I'm spending maybe $70 to $90 a day if I was traveling the full time. If I wasn't traveling at all, I was like, I'll send this down for just a day. I'd be spending maybe like $15, $20.
Oh,
but it's not as much really if you're not burning gas. Yeah.
So one of your goals you're telling me, kind of from here on out, is you kind of want to do like one day in each state for X amount of states?
Yeah, for like the smaller states. I was thinking of rebranding it to like 24 hours in like
Rhode Island?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some small states, like 24 hours in Maine because it's such a small state.
Yeah.
Not like there's stuff to do, but there's not an insane amount of stuff to do like California. So I just go up there, start a 24-hour timer, and when it's done, I leave, edit the video, then do the next state.
Gotcha.
That'd be the plan.
And then like some of the bigger states that have a lot to see, like New York or Florida or something, you'll probably want to be there a little bit longer. Yeah.
And then we were thinking about just trains, and I feel like at the end of the day, after like really researching it, it's like it'd be more of an inconvenience to do the trains. I think like the car is the best route. The only reason I was thinking maybe I do want to do it is just kind of show different ways of travel. You don't think you're stuck in just being in a motor vehicle because some people. It's not that they can't drive. It's like they don't want to drive. It's driving too expensive, gas too expensive. They're too scared of being on the road. They don't even have a vehicle. Is a big thing. Lots of people, lots of teenagers, even my age, they don't get jobs early as I do. And then maybe their parents they can't give them a vehicle, and then they can't even afford a vehicle. So it's like in that case, then they think, oh, I can't travel. I can't really pursue this thing that I want to do. So I think it'd be interesting to show them. You could get trains, you could get buses. Yeah. You could definitely make it work.
Do you remember I don't know if you remember some of those old school cartoons where they're hopping on trains and traveling.
Yeah, train hopping.
They have that long stick with that.
The hobo stick.
Yeah, the hobo stick with the with the sheet. You have your stuff in the sheet.
Like a bandana.
I've never seen anybody in real life do that.
You just buy it back.
I don't even think that's a real thing. No. I've never seen anybody do that.
I've never seen anyone do that either.
Yeah.
But that is a real thing. I've met people doing that already. It's called train hopping. Yeah. So they jump on there's those open containers of coal. Whenever the trains slow down, they have a real interesting system they're talking about where they look at the bolts in the tire, and if they're moving at a specific speed, we can hop on it. So they hop on it, get inside the coal, and they just lay low for a few hours, and it'll get them to where they need to go.
Oh yeah.
But it's extremely legal.
Hi baby. Oh yeah. Oh cool. You can see it. Have you thought of any other side jobs that you maybe want to do? Like, did it kind of once you were kind of successful with the window washing and you installed the dash cam for that lady, did the juices start flowing? Like, what else can I do now?
Yeah, so the umbrella I do is something I had. So at the Goodwill outlets, you pay by the pound of the items you buy.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'd just go in there and buying a ton of umbrellas. Then you go to a tourist location when it's raining and you sell the umbrellas. That's something I want to try, but I haven't really gotten the chance. Now that Seattle's real close, I was thinking it rains there so often. Yeah. Maybe I want to do that there. So I was thinking testing that out. And you can go to truck stops and maybe like wash their trucks. Just go truck. Yeah. Of course.
That's a lot. That's like a semi truck or something. That'd be a lot.
It'd be really interesting. But there's a ton of like small side jobs I could do, and it's kind of those jobs change depending on where I'm going. Like if I'm on a coastline, I could wash boats. I could wash stuff underwater, and if I'm in the middle of a farm town, I could start doing farm work if I'm able to really like find trustworthy people to go on their ranch.
Hit up those Amish people. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I'll change you guys' wagon tire. Yeah. I mean, they probably already know how to do that way better than me. Yeah.
I could patch your cover on your wagon for you.
Yeah, like I go to them, you guys want me to build y'all a cell tower? You guys might need it.
They're like, what's a cell tower?
What's a cell?
Yeah, I don't even know what a cell is.
Like a salary tower.
I got a couple questions left. Even though you've only been to a few states now, if another 18-year-old Dylan were to ask you like, hey, I want to do the same thing, what have you kind of learned already, what's worked and maybe your mistakes, like what should I do that maybe you didn't do?
I think I'm only like 1 month into it, so I haven't made enough mistakes, but if that were to happen,
check your transmission.
Make sure that's not about to break down. If it is, just sell the vehicle. It's not worth it. But yeah, I'd say like if I were to be someone that wants to do a trip, I'd say like the best idea is to see what you want to do. And then see where you're at. And then that way you can see what you need to do. Like my goals was lose the weight because I was so overweight. And then get so much money. And then also graduate early. Those were the 3 big goals. And I knew if I was like, oh, do it next week or so, I would have given up. You had to be realistic with it, say, in so many months, years, whatever, this is what I got to do. And I had to step after step. It's not going to be let's rush to it. It's like let's hit these checkpoints. So I'd say the first step.
You need to do your hand gestures with your other hand, so you have your microphone with you the whole time. Oh, you're like, and then you got to do this.
And the fan.
And okay, here's one more. When you're traveling, what percent of your traveling should be like planned stuff, and what percent do you think should be like just spur of the moment, like, oh, that looks cool over there?
I think what I've learned is nothing should be planned, because anything that you have planned isn't going to go to plan if a trip is big enough. So I think
what about in terms of like, okay, I at least want to see this place.
That's what I was going to say is you shouldn't plan dates. You shouldn't really plan any of that. I'd say the best thing you do, make a bucket list, because there's a vacation and there's an adventure. A vacation, well, the best example I heard was this guy and his friend, they both go to like Las Vegas like the same week. And so his friend is saying his story like, oh, I went to this luxury resort and I did this, this, and this. And everybody already knew about all this stuff because you pay for this manufactured experience.
True.
And then he was like, oh, I ended up like just kind of like running into this mayor dude, went to this party. Everybody was there, jumping in the pool. And then everybody liked his story because he planned nothing. He did not have a single like reservation or because it's just manufactured experiences that you're buying and paying for.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd say the best idea isn't maybe not to just wing it and go out there, but make a bucket list of things you want to see, and you'll figure out how to do it. So it's like if I want to go see like the Bellagio fountain, I don't have to book a hotel. I'll just be like in the moment. I'll be like, okay, I'll just stop here, and then tomorrow I'll go to the Bellagio fountain. However, I can take a bus, train, whatever, and then you'll have a much better venture if it's like say at this specific hotel, go there, go back, and that's it. Or you can do whatever on the way there.
That's another cool thing about doing this by yourself. Like I've been on trips with friends where there's always like that one friend that's like, we're gonna go here from 2 to 3, and then we're gonna go over there from 3 to 4.
That's what I'm saying.
And then if it's like 4:06 and we're having fun, we're like,
well, we had to go.
We're starting to stress out. Like, we gotta go.
We have to leave the Bellagio fountain and go check out.
We should have been at the Venetian 4 minutes and 27 seconds ago.
Yeah, that's the thing is, if you plan anything, you're gonna find stuff that you like, and you're gonna find stuff that you don't like that was on those plans, and it's like, oh, you just can't do the stuff you like as much because you'll have all these plans that you need to go to. So I say just make a bucket list of stuff you want to do, and just give yourself plenty of time to do it. So like literally just be like, oh, I'll do the Bellagio fountain. It's on the list. I'll do that tomorrow. And I'll be like, hotel this time, Bellagio fountain back there. Go here. Then you have to go there.
Yeah,
it's manufactured experience, exactly what the people are telling me, and I listen. And the stories are 100% true. If you're paying to go to a theme park, you'll go on the White River Rapids, but then you can't tell your friends like, oh, I went on the White River Rapids. There was a jump, and it's like everybody knows where that is. Everybody knows exactly what you did. But if it's like I went to this river and I rode an inflatable raft and I just like went down it, it's like I want to hear that story more than I went to Disneyland, waited in line for an hour, and then got on this ride.
I went to Disneyland and we planned to go here at 3, and we did, and it was
it's exactly what we expected.
Man, I plan on going to the river, but then we met this one guy, and then he took us here
to an even better river.
We found an even better river.
And it's a good thing we had nothing planned, because if we did, we wouldn't have gone with them.
I remember when I'd go on trips with like my parents or my grandparents. You know, like, oh, we're going to Leavenworth or whatever, and I'd be driving by places, and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool.
You're like, oh no, we're gonna miss the hotel check-in.
We gotta be there. And I just thought to myself, man, when I become a grown up, I'm gonna make sure that I leave early, and if I want to stop somewhere, I'm gonna stop. So like, I even do that when I travel for work. Like, if I see something on the way, I'm like,
that's why I don't like it much about vacations, is because you already. Because if you plan it a year in advance, then for the year in advance, you already know what's going to happen. You already know what you're going to do, and it's like not nearly as fun because it's like, oh, you planned for this to happen. But if it's just like, I have a few bucket list items, I'll go see what happens on the way there. Because the funnest part is getting there. Like once you go see it, usually what you're going to go see is underwhelming compared to the adventure to get there.
Yeah, for sure. And I used to go to my aunt's in Idaho every summer, and I would leave at 3 a.m. Not because I just wanted to get there as soon as possible, but I wanted to like be able to see stuff on the way. You know, like, oh, that looks cool. You go through Eastern Washington, and they have these like little farm stands and stuff like that, and I always thought those were cool, and I always wanted to stop at a farm stand. You know, and it was cool to be able to do that and still get to Idaho by like 10 a.m. I got to hit a couple stops on the way and still be there.
Yeah, it's way cooler than just being like, I gotta be there as fast as possible. Go.
What time have you been getting up in the morning when you're?
Oh, here like 10 or 11, but on the trip.
Okay. Of course, you're sleeping in here. You're hanging out with grandma and grandpa. You get to relax a little bit. But like when you're out there by yourself.
Right. Well, on the trip, it's kind of like. It really depends on where I'm going to sleep for the night, because I kind of research like an hour before the sun goes down, like truck stop nearby or church nearby or whatever, and I go to the nearest place. So I like to get there right as it gets dark, because then the people don't really they're not looking outside when it's dark. So you pull in, up all your window shades, and then I don't even set alarms because there's trucks going in and out. So it's like it's not deep sleep I'm getting. It's like kind of like sleep, and it's just enough to like fully energize me. So like once it's
like airplane sleep, where like even when you sleep on the airplane, you just still hear everything that's going on.
So it's like I'm sleeping and I'll wake up here and there. Anytime like I wake up, it's like, oh, now it's light. Now I go. So I just rip down all the shades. I like to leave probably around like 6, because that way I can get going. Like just like literally wake up and they don't care truck stops like if you're there. So I'm just on my phone like on Google Maps being like, where to go in this area, and it's like, oh, okay, and I'll go there. All right, so
what do you have for breakfast? Like, do you just go get some, or do you have something in your car, and like right when you wake up, you?
So usually I have like a tiny cooler with stuff in there, but most of the time I won't eat until like I'm really hungry. And the idea behind that is because let's say like I eat and like a bunch of Fruit Loops, and I'm driving and I see a really cool restaurant. It's like I'm already full. I just ate Fruit Loops, so I kind of like don't eat anything until I see something unique to the area, and I go there. But most of the time, I just have like a little cooler full of really cheap Walmart food. Like they have the $1 cups of cereal. They have like the 5-pound bag of animal crackers. You dip that in peanut butter. It's protein. There you go. You're all set. That's the number one snack is the 5-pound bag of animal crackers and then a jar of peanut butter.
It's like nice that we live in a cell phone era too, where like back in the day, it's like, okay, I kind of need gas, but maybe I could wait till the next stop. But actually, I don't know when the next stop's going to be. Now you could like look it up and just be like, the next one's 20 minutes away.
You know where all of them are.
Yeah, like bing, 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 bing.
The one problem is whenever I'm in the middle of like nowhere and the Wi-Fi isn't working, and it's like I'm so used to using the phone to get around, it's like, not again. I gotta put this giant map and a compass. All right. And then sure enough, I'm like driving, and then it's like I'm looking at a compass and a map instead of my phone, because the phone will be right here. I can just like glance over for a moment and make sure, I'm on the right track. Using a map, it's like, or like follow with my finger.
Yeah, I know.
I'm good. I should be good. I'm going north.
Is this your first podcast ever? It's not.
I convinced my boss to do like really like for him, I made him a channel. Then my mom, I convinced her to do an actual podcast. So I done that. Online? Yeah, it's online. I just don't talk about it because that's the only channel I feel like it's more of her thing. That's why I had her make it. It's more of what she would like to watch, I believe. So
I'm gonna look for it. I'm curious now.
Oh, I can.
This is my first podcast.
I think the first ever podcast I did was with my friend because he's running like a gaming channel. I've been doing it for like 5 years, and it's not really gaining traction as a thing. And since I've been doing it for like long enough, and I had like 2,000 subscribers on my main channel at the time. Yeah. It was like, let's go and talk about Pokemon cards. It's what you're interested in. Yeah. And so we did that for about an hour. Yeah. And sure enough, like at the time, it was on his own channel. It was pretty good for what his views usually were. Yeah. That did pretty well. Then that's really that I kind of convinced him to do. And there's my mom. And the one thing I'd say for starting a YouTube channel is if something works, you should stick with it and instead of
double down on it.
Yeah, because there's the one video I saw where the guy's being like, guys, I just got 5 million views on this Minecraft video. Thank you all so much for subscribing to my Minecraft video. Yeah. Let's react to this prison break video now. It's like completely, it's what you want to do, but sometimes you have to give in to what the viewers want. Yeah, so it's like a friend who I did this with, he made this the podcast video, and it was about something that he was really interested in. He was really he likes Pokemon. Yeah. But it like wasn't his exact niche or whatever. He was more into video games. So the thing is, we did it. Then right after he goes back to video games and doesn't get as many views. So I'd say is if you find something that like just even a few people will like watch, then let them latch onto it and keep giving them content to latch onto. And as long as you like it, then you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm trapped in this niche. Oh, I'm trapped in like what I specifically want to do. Just change what you want to do to meet. Because if you want to make content, you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're going to become a product if you really want to make it serious.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough too though, because on Instagram, I posted a video of there's an investor named Warren Buffett. He's like the Michael Jordan of investors. He's he's worth like $500 billion. Yeah, and he's been doing it for 80 years. But I posted a video of him. And it got like 500,000 views.
Yeah, seriously.
And then I posted another one like a week later of him, like just some like, this is Warren Buffett talking about this. Yeah. And that one got like 180,000
And you
views.
Found your
But I'm like, I don't want to just have a
video,
a channel just like, this channel is called Warren Buffett Video.
Yeah, that's also a trap that you got to like steer clear from because then you're only known for that. Yeah, people get angry if you go back to what you like.
Yeah, for sure.
So. There's a nice line that you can kind of ride.
Yeah, definitely.
The one thing I'll say about the podcast is you're not going to like editing it because hearing your own voice for however long it's going to be, like an hour. Oh, yeah. It's not going to be fun. Yeah. It might take you more than a day because you'll start editing it. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to put on a subscribe sticker every 10 minutes and then we'll just upload it and hope that there weren't any bloopers. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. That's probably what's going to end up happening, honestly. That's what happened with my mom's episode. I was like, all right, I'll start editing this right now. Yeah. I get 2 minutes into it. Like, I cannot stand the sound of my own voice. I'm just going to add a subscribe sticker here, like a little icon says bling, like
maybe it's helped since I've made plenty of videos where I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's different just hearing
it's different when it's straight for an hour. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna like, why do I keep itching my eye?
Yeah, I find that the 30-minute video I made was really easy because it's like just little clips I kind of put together, collage it. But this one's just gonna be like one long voice and you gotta like it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. So I don't think anyone would blame you if you just put the subscribe sticker here and there and they'd be like, okay, good enough.
Yeah.
What I usually do now, if I ever make my own podcast again, I would like have like I just have like notepad to write down the time, be like, oh, this happened here. That way, I know like these are the parts I want to keep in. These are the parts I got to go to whenever editing. Yeah. But oh well, should be fine. No. We didn't have any major bloopers yet.
No.
But Linda did fall.
Yeah. Linda.
Linda, stop.
Linda, pull up the video of that family getting eaten by pterodactyls.
Linda's like,
if you know, you know, people.
No, we should get somebody to work for us.
We should
Hire a bodyguard.
We could go hang out while someone's editing our video.
That'd be an interesting video in it of itself. Let's see if this guy can edit my videos and like match my style editing.
Yeah, we can make it a reality show or something.
Oh yeah, we put a secret camera inside the room that the editor's in.
Yeah, it'd be like The Apprentice, but you're fired. Well, man, that was a. I think we could probably wrap it up now. We had some good questions, and unless you have anything.
I have one more.
Oh, what?
Well, now that I'm 18, like forever, I was kind of limited because I couldn't invest and put my money and invest inside the stock market. So if you were 18 again, like now, like you're 18, like today, what would you do with? Let's put it like real. Like let's say you had $500 of just fun money. Like what would you do with it?
I'm gonna give you two answers.
Okay.
If you don't really want to put in work and you just want to invest your money, then I would just invest into the S&P 500 index fund.
Right.
It's just basically like this group of the 500 best stocks in the United States. You just put all your money into that, and you can even put money monthly if you want. But on average, the S&P 500 goes up on average 8 to 10% a year.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might go down 5%, but the next year might go up 15%. But on average, it's like 10%. If you want to take a little bit more chances and do and learn stocks, and kind of try to get more than 10% returns, then I would still probably invest in an S&P 500 index fund. So let's say you have $500, like you said.
All right.
Maybe $200 in the S&P 500 index fund.
Right.
Then maybe you put $100 into one company that you really like. And you want it to be a really reliable company.
Yeah, like Amazon
or Apple. And then maybe two stocks that you do that. Like, and the next 100 will be into Apple. The $100 will be in Amazon. The next 100 will be.
I was considering like a big one's McDonald's. Like their stock's going down.
Yeah.
I said they're reintroducing like the new foods, like the old foods. They were putting it back up on the market. So I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah. McDonald's is a your grandpa would be like, no, McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I hope he doesn't get mad. No.
But it's a good
and then so now you have $100 left. Your final $100, you do something maybe slightly risky.
Bitcoin.
And I would you could do that. You could do Bitcoin, or you could do like look into something that's futuristic, like AI or robotics. Just do your own research on what AI companies are.
Yeah.
So and have that final $100 be a risky play that could possibly make you
go up or go down. Yeah.
And if you lose that $100 out of that $100, if you lose that $100 out of your 500, I'm sure
eggs in different baskets.
The other stocks will make up for that.
Yeah.
But you don't want to put any more than that into something risky.
Yeah.
You want about, and even $100 out of 500 is kind of a lot. Like I want to put 5 to 10% of whatever I have into something risky.
Because if you aren't willing to risk it, then don't invest it. Something small.
So like 5 to 10% of what you want to invest should be in something with huge potential.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. If you want to get into it, then do that. If you feel like you won't have the time and the energy to do the research,
track it,
just do a S&P 500 fund and call it good.
You're done there.
Probably be just fine.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that was fun though. Yeah. Cool.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
All right, Linda, shut off the camera.
Linda.